Hello, cult members. Welcome to the Pop Culture Cult. I'm Sean,
I'm Janice.
and this is my spoiler sign.
we really need a new one.
We don't, and it's the stick is getting shorter and shorter. Pretty soon, it's just gonna be holding it like this. But we're gonna be talking about spoilers for the Solo, a Star Wars story. Spoilers, spoilers, spoilers. You've been told spoilers. Okay, all right. We're gonna talk about everything that happened. We just got home from seeing it. We've been home maybe 15 minutes, and obviously we're trying to refuel and stuff.
Sorry.
Normally we would do a overall, what did you not like, what you do like, that kind of thing, and then give a score. I just want to talk about the movie itself and just kind of go over a little bit and different spoilers and different things and then we'll give it the score at the end on this one. And I the movie starts without the crawl. It's a couple paragraphs, a couple sentences explaining that there's this guy in Corellia. He grew up on the streets and learned to fight and do all this stuff, and he wanted to be a pilot. And that's kind of them like giving you the backstory of how we get to. We decided late teens, early 20s Han. They don't really say like what his age is, but he's obviously it's still teen young kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then they start the movie, and they start it on Corellia, and they're not in space.
Right.
And so we get a couple of Star Wars tropes not used right off the bat.
Right.
The main MacGuffin in this movie is I cannot remember the name of whatever the mineral is or whatever, but it's
fuel.
It's the fuel for the hyperspace travel.
Yeah.
And it's like the main thing that they keep trying to go and steal to pay off the Crimson Dawn and all of that.
Right.
And so it's cool because a lot of people were complaining in The Last Jedi that they really didn't discuss the fuel thing, right? There's never been the fuel thing's never been discussed, and now we're doing Battlestar Galactica, just trying to stay ahead of the bad guys far enough. And
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, in Last Jedi, they're on the run.
yeah, yeah.
They don't have time to pull over to the gas station and
Intergalactic space stations
and refuel. Yeah. So, and they were being bombed on the planet, so they had to take us. So, I mean, it makes sense, but whatever.
The movie overall is I think I liked it. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah, they were saying that they did keep a lot of the funny parts are pretty much Lord and Miller, and that because they were still executive producers, they had some control in that.
Some input at least in that.
Because Ron Howard is not a funny movie guy.
He's typically doesn't. He'll have a funny line or two, but it's not a funny concept kind of thing. Yeah, and I thought that was nice that they actually we pointed it out in the credits that they gave gave Lord and Miller a credit, and they made it part of the main
executive producers.
Yeah, so that was really cool that they did that. How did you think of Alden? Did you think I think he kind of had this young Solo kind of feel to him.
Yeah, I didn't think he did. I mean, all the hubbub about him, did he ask for acting lessons? Did they demand he get acting lessons? Was it because of Lord and Miller? Was it because, there was all this speculation?
There's always an acting coach on set to help people get to where they need to get.
And I feel like, I mean, if he was serious, which if you're playing Han Solo and you have a clue, you would be serious about, that he would be, invested in having the best performance he possibly could. And I thought he did great.
Yeah. I really think that he may not be the standout of the movie, being the lead and having to play this character that was so iconic and played by Harrison Ford and kind of a pillar of like pop culture for 40 plus years.
Yeah.
I think he did a really good job. Now he wasn't though a major standout in the movie. He was, I think the major two standouts, at least for me, three standouts for me, was Lando, played by Donald Glover, Emilia Clarke's Kira,
Yeah.
and Chewie,
Yeah.
played by Johannes Stadust from
7 foot
7
6
foot
tall
Viking.
man.
I
Yeah.
thought the three of them were actually really good. Like
Yes.
I thought everybody was. I had no problem with any of the actors and how everything was portrayed and all that stuff. Like even the CGI characters were really cool.
Yeah. I mean, uh, Woody Harrelson. His name was there, and then it was gone. I, his. I mean, if I had to pick a performance that I thought was the 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 least, the most lackluster, it might have been his. I didn't think he was.
I think he played
horrible,
it a little. Yeah,
but
I think he played it really straight. Like he didn't like he didn't like put an accent on or like go over the top with
right.
anything.
No,
He played it pretty straight.
I just mean like I don't know when he double crossed him or whatever. I wasn't shocked. I wasn't.
Yeah, but
You
that
know.
was kind of Beckett's character. He was in it for himself, kind of thing,
Yeah,
and he even
yeah.
talked about it that a couple
Yeah.
times. The CGI was really cool. I thought the CGI was done really
Yeah,
well.
the train scene was really the stuff exploding and like annihilating that mountain. That was
that
amazing.
was really cool. We we talked about it on the way home, and then we talked about it in our non-spoiler review. The one problem I did have was like maybe the first 15 minutes or so when they were on Corellia. It was just it wasn't the way it was shot. I think it was just the way it was lit, and it was kind of lots of blues, and my eyes were still adjusting from being outside and coming inside and whatever. I was
Half an hour of trailers.
25 minutes of trailers. 25. It was like 7 trailers.
So I think there was more than that.
There
was so many trailers.
Yeah,
It was ridiculous.
and we had one new one, which was Sister Brothers, and
Yeah.
but yeah, I was just like they had a running joke with the Grinch.
Yeah.
Like in between each one, he's like, "Are we doing another trailer? Just play the goddamn movie." Like it was kind of a nice little.
He hauls at the beginning. He hauls in the giant thing of the big popcorn machine, and he's like, "We got a lot of trailers.
We got a lot of trailers to go through." So some of the other stuff that I wanted to kind of get into was, so in the trailers and stuff like that, you see this scene and Han kind of steps up and the shots over over his blaster, and there's this really cool character standing there with this really cool headdress and like a fur coat and stuff like that. We talked about it on the way out. I cannot remember that character's name as they announced it in the movie. But I'm going with it until I'm proven wrong. So I might be doing another video here in a couple of days going, "Oh, I was dumb." But it's a younger black girl, say probably late teens, early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they called her Zay Miko. If that's true, she is the daughter of Del Miko and Iden Versio from Battlefront 2. Oh my God! They just connected a video game to the movie.
Well, it's canon. They've said it was canon.
Right? They have said it is canon, and they've done like the Ewok. I don't remember what they call it, the Ewok challenge or whatever, where Ewoks were killing off stormtroopers. Apparently, it was fun. But on Battlefront, I mean, that's a brand new character, bringing her in and having her be part of the universe.
Yeah,
and that's really cool.
A couple things I read were that people are expecting the Crimson Dawn, which would then mean that this rogue group that she, kind of the beginning of the rebellion or whatever, that would both of them, like the good and the bad, right?
Right.
The new rebel, whatever, opposing forces, that the Crimson Dawn was going to be a thing moving forward in the standalone, in the non-Skywalker saga stuff. So that would make sense. That
would be cool if they did that, because they get they do all this stuff, and there's a big fight scene at the end, where Kira kills off the head of Crimson Dawn, and it's played by Paul.
Dynica?
Yes,
like
I
that.
can't remember. We're trying to do this on the fly, so I didn't look up his name. But when she kills everybody off and everything, and she's going to steal the ship, and she takes the ring and she puts it in the little communicate thing, and this hologram comes up, and there's this hologram, like hooded hologram guy talking to her.
I was like,
Her,
is it Snoke? Is it Snoke?
Snoke would have been
Snoke?
Snoke would have been a good thing. My first thought was it was Palpatine. It was it was Shmi. But they go.
Shmi is his mom.
Oh, now
Palpatine.
It's Shim. It's something like I freaking knew it, and I can't remember. It's late for us guys. I'm sorry. But they go to pan in front, and the hooded figure goes like this, and there's Darth Maul. And I like lost it. Like I'm like, oh my god, I freaking put Darth Maul in the freaking movie.
There
Oh
was
my
a couple
god,
people that did.
And he stands up, and you could see his metal legs, so you know where we are in the story, right? It's like, oh, that's so awesome.
Well, you knew where we were,
right?
In the story.
I know because
I was like, how is Darth Maul still alive? Apparently, it was a thing that happened in the books.
So the TV show Clone Wars was where he came back.
Oh,
but
Clone
he
Wars.
was the one who went after Ezra here and tried to get Ezra to go to the dark side and Rebels, and they went after the Sith holocron to find Kenobi. I mean, there's so that directly connects stuff that happens in Rebels. And that's awesome. I think that's like, I love it when, like, not just a little wink and a nod like they did in Rogue One, which I thought was really cool with Hera and the Ghost and Chopper and stuff like that.
Yeah.
This was a direct, oh my God, Darth Maul's in the movie, and it was played by Ray Park.
Yeah.
And so I just thought that, like, oh my God, they did that. Like, it was.
Well, and there was a lot of little things, right? So there was the chess game.
When they get in the Millennium Falcon.
Teaching Chewie how to play that. And then Landau made the comment about the girl. It's the same comment he made. I didn't know she was a spy originally or whatever. And it's the same comment he makes in
Empire?
Is it Empire? Is it when they first?
Yeah, I think it's
they
when
first
they first
find him on Cloud City.
Yeah. There's the dice end up playing a big part of the movie. That's not really a spoiler, but I mean it was all over the advertising campaign.
R2D2 might have been.
It was an astromech droid, but I don't know if it was R2.
Well, okay, so it would be funny because apparently Mark Hamill let it slip in an interview that the guy who plays C-3PO was super excited because he's been in every single Star Wars movie, and he was in Last Jedi, and he was in and he's in Solo, and then he was like, oops, I don't think I was supposed to say that. So
he was playing at least one of the droids,
right? I think that it was all Mark Hamill, because Mark Hamill loves to.
I honestly
so it would be funny
think
if it was R2D2 and not C3PO.
Oh, that would have been awesome. I honestly think that it was the protocol droid at the gate when Han has a speeder when they're in Corellia and he's getting chased by that big speeder. They're getting chased, and he gets through the checkpoint, and then the protocol droid comes out and goes, and he gets run over because it kind of moved like C-3PO.
Yeah,
it's the same kind of droid, and whatever.
Yeah.
It would be kind of it can be like a shitty like cameo because droids are actually a part of this thing. L3 is this like revolutionary kind of leader for droids, and she wants equal rights, and it's a big part of the Last Shot book. And there was a lot of like, I won't say direct connective tissue to Last Shot in this, but you get a better understanding of Han and Lando's relationship, and you also get more of Lando and L3's relationship. And so when things happen with L3, you kind of feel for you. Actually, like there's a good emotional scene there, and I just thought that was like really well played out. They gave the big emotional scene to Donald Glover and the Lando stuff.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't read all that stuff, so it wasn't a big emotional scene for me.
Right.
It was,
Right.
Okay.
I get that. But overall, I think that. Oh, by the way, the music is amazing. By the way, it's a Star Wars movie, of course, that's amazing. But it wasn't John Williams who did it. But they did do some nice little cues and things when they first showed the Millennium Falcon. They did some, kind of cues
Yeah.
there and stuff, and they did a little bit of the Duel of Fates when Darth Maul showed up,
Yeah.
and then they straight out displayed the Star Wars theme when Han is sitting in the driver's seat, Chewie's sitting in in the co-pilot seat, and like they sit down like for the first time, and they sit down, they look at each other, and then the swell of the music goes in. It's like the regular. It's like, oh, like great cue. So I thought that was good. Overall, I think we both really enjoyed it.
Yep.
I may have enjoyed it a little bit more than you did, based just because of, like I said, for Last Shot and the connective tissue with Rebels. They had a Purgle, which is the space whales from Rebels, and the Devil's Anus from the Marvel movies. So everything's out
And
the window.
Space whale got sucked into the devil's anus.
Yeah. That's like the first thing.
What?
The first thing I saw it, I was like, "That's the Devil's Anus."
They had the trash can droid. It was in the BattleBot pit thing.
Oh yeah,
It was the trash can from like
The BattleBot thing was awesome because I leaned over and like, it's BattleBots.
yeah.
That's awesome. And there's tons of like little like Warwick Davis is one of the rebels.
Yeah.
That was a nice little. He took his helmet off
And,
and he had long hair like when he was in Willow.
Ron Howard's brother, of course, because he is in every movie that
yeah.
Ron Howard makes.
Yeah.
Is in it.
L3 beats him up. It's pretty awesome. Oh, you get to be my movie, but I gotta have you get beat up by an android.
Yeah, and they're gonna see your face for like 2 seconds.
Right. We were giggling. The other thing I wanted to talk about, and I kind of struggled bringing this up, but our theater was weird.
Yeah.
Like it was an hour and a half into the movie or an hour into the movie before people were like the energy in the room kind of picked up. I don't know if it was because it was a 7:00 showing and people just had dinner, or people weren't excited, but they were, like a bunch of people had Star Wars shirts on and stuff. There was one guy in a R2D2 suit.
Yeah.
in our showing. We were laughing at all the jokes all the way through, but I noticed like about halfway through, I'm like, oh, everybody's starting to laugh at these again.
Yeah, it was weird. It was very quiet for the first half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Just nobody doing anything.
I didn't know if we hadn't talked about it. I didn't know if you had noticed it too. But
I totally had.
I'm like, I'm gonna laugh a little louder at these because these are funny, guys. These are funny jokes.
Yeah.
Like
it was
get
weird.
involved in this. So overall, we liked it. You want to give them our score, even though we did it on the non-spoiler review.
I was like a 2.75, 3. Yeah, 2.75. It wasn't horrible. Not my favorite.
Yeah.
I will buy it.
I think I said 3.5.
Yeah.
Because of a lot of the connective tissue and stuff. I still don't know if it was necessarily a movie that we needed to have in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
I'm not upset with the addition of it in the Star Wars universe. On my, everybody's got their list of the, we can now do the top 10 Star Wars movies.
Can.
I'm probably 6 or 7 on my list. It's probably going to go ahead of the prequels. But it's not gonna be 1, 2, or 3. It's not gonna be 5, episode 5. It's not gonna be Empire, New Hope, or Rogue One. It's just it just wasn't gonna happen. So it's gonna be in that Force Awakens in the middle, kind of the middle of the road.
I put it higher than Wookiees.
Ewoks.
Or Ewoks, sorry.
No,
Wookiees are good. Ewoks are bad.
I'm now gonna break your brain because I heard this today. All of the stuff with Ewoks was supposed to happen on Kashyyyk. And it was all supposed to be Wookiees, but they couldn't find enough tall people, so they found enough midgets.
It would have been better if it was on Kashyyyk.
Because the freaking Wookiees. Now all those fights were all designed for Wookiees, unarmored Wookiees, to do it. Now everything makes sense.
Yeah, not little stuffed animals.
No Care Bears. No Care Bears.
I still don't like
them. Little murder
bears.
No, murder bears are cool.
Creepy.
They are creepy, but murder bears are awesome. And we're going to have this conversation for the next 20 minutes. So that's our thoughts. Spoiler review of Solo, A Star Wars Story. What's it called again? Where it's tired.
It's bedtime.
It's bedtime, and we're going to Comic-Con tomorrow. So, so what do you guys think? Please leave us a comment in this video of your thoughts on this movie. Also, let us know, do you like the idea of these standalone movies? I've really liked one, like really loved one. I've liked one, and now they just announced Boba Fett this morning. So, so what do you guys think about these standalone movies? Do you think we need them? Do we want them? Should they go away? Also, while you're here, please subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications of stuff. We are uploading stuff all the time. Trailer reactions, movie reviews, that kind of stuff. Please get a hold of us too on social media. We're on Facebook at PopCultureCult or PopCultureCult1 on Instagram, and we're at Pop_Cult1 on the Twitters. Stardust app, download it for free. We're on there. Little 30-second reviews. Please go subscribe because we lost all of our EU friends this week.
Yeah.
So really sad. So we want to rebuild that community a little bit with help from everyone. So download it for free and get a hold of us. That's it. I'm going to go edit so we can go to bed. May the force be with you always.